Hi there, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's a time that we can relax and craft together. So tonight we are continuing our giraffe embroidery. We did split stitch for the outline. Typically we do a back stitch, so it was kind of fun to do something different. We have to finish the outline and then we're going to do turkey work for the tail. And I think that's probably about where we'll get tonight. We'll see. So awesome, let's get going. All right, hello. Gonna zoom you guys in here. Okay, so tonight we are continuing on our little giraffe feller. And we got pretty far on this outline last night, and I think we're going to just start right up in and try and finish it. So we did the split stitch for the outline. So I think let's continue that. I'm going to try and go speedy tonight, but I'm more than happy to stop and go through a stitch or anything like that yet too. But I'd love to be able to get these legs done, the face, and the tail done tonight. It would be pretty awesome if we could get going on the two letters as well. That'd be neat. But if that carries over till tomorrow, that's fine. I can't believe it's Thursday already, you guys. Like, what? This was a speedy one, but I'm blaming it on that John had his surgery. Oh, yeah, that's where we left off. So that was just on last Friday. So I'm thinking that's why my day seems crazy, or my week. Hey, Alessandra. All right, some more split stitches. So last night we did, just dropped my needle already. We did a split stitch, but we also did the split back stitch. It's a bit easier to do, I think. So this is the split back stitch to about right there, and then the rest is just a plain split stitch. So they look just the same on the front, but the true split stitch, what we're doing now, it looks different on the back. So it looks like a little dashed line on the back for the split stitch, but the split back stitch has a really thick, hefty line going there. So it does use up more thread. But it's much easier to split the stitch. But tonight, we're just going to try and cruise through these legs. There's kind of a lot of surface area on these legs. So they'll take some time. But when we finish this, I think I'm going to move on to the tail. And the tail will be doing turkey work, which is going to make it look like the elephant tail here. So extra floofy. I mean, it's full floof right there. So that's kind of the plan for his little tail there too. I mean, originally it was just stitched in like a couple little lines, which you can totally do too. But we've been playing around with the alphabet here. These patterns, we're doing them a little bit differently, or just however we feel like compared to the original pattern. So we're going to do that turkey work. Thanks, Veronica. I think it'll be fun doing that tail, though. I'm excited, but I want to get this outline done. It's taking some time. Oh, hey, Sylvia. Sylvia says, hey, everyone. Didn't forget tonight. Nice. Hey, Diana. Debbie. Hello. Denise. Hi, everyone. Full floof, Denise says. Yep. Full floof on the tail. That is the plan. All right, so curves are not the friendliest thing. Like tight curves like this are not the easiest thing to do in split stitch compared to back. That's why I like back stitch for my outlining mostly. I think you can get way more accurate on the lines, but this looks fine. We're doing it. So I think I'm getting in the groove of it a little bit more, the split stitch. A lot of times when you're coming up from the bottom, it's hard to, like right now, it's hard to get in the middle of those threads. Oh, I'm barely splitting that. There we go. Oh, it's just going to be annoying now. Maybe I should do that, the railroad. Good enough. The railroad technique where I kind of split it here too. Then theoretically the threads will lay nicely against next to each other, and then it'll be easier to come up and stab theoretically. Yeah, that's not bad. It's just extra work that I don't want to do. I think I'm gonna say meh. So I'll do split stitch for this thread, but I'm definitely gonna need more thread to do the rest of these legs. So I'll do the split back stitch just to show you guys the difference again, and it's way more enjoyable. Hey, Word! Oh, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Bye! Alright, I think we'll do this in 2 stitches, just like a little back stitch that will come up. Oh, Libby says, hello from rainy Indiana. I thought for sure it was going to rain here today. Gosh, it was so freaking beautiful in the morning. And then I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go for a walk. And then it was so gloomy, and I wore my raincoat just in case. And it was just, just in case I got chilly too. It's kind of my lighter coat. But it didn't rain, and then it got beautiful and sunny later. Oh, Jacob's asking, is crocheting or knitting easier, and what's your favorite? If I really had to choose, I think, like, if you didn't know how to do either, and you wanted to learn the easiest one, I think I would say crochet. However, they both have a little hurdle here or there to, like, get over to get going. Like, both of them have, like, a start that can be tricky for beginners, but once you get over, like, that starting thing, like the first row in crochet, for example, or, like, casting on and stuff in knitting, they both have, like, a teeny hurdle in, like, the row 1 when you're learning. But I think, for me at least, I think crochet is a little easier, just because, like, if your hook falls out or whatever, or you lose some stitches, it is so easy to, Robin says crocheting too, it's so easy to just grab that stitch and just, like, continue, whereas if you drop a stitch in knitting or you mess that up, then, like, the whole thing can be, I mean, there's tricks to fixing that too, but they're not as easy as what crochet is. As far as what do I like better, it kind of just depends on the mood I'm in, and I'm speaking, like, literal mood. Oh, Amy says she agrees that crochet is easier and quicker to grasp too, but there's like 2 different vibes to it for me, like, when I'm crocheting versus knitting. They're both, like, 2 of my, like, I just want to chill and relax modes, but with knitting, to me, that can get, like, more technical for me, because, I don't know, maybe I'm more advanced in crochet, maybe, I don't know, versus knitting. But I do like knitting when I'm just doing, like, the same thing over and over and over again, like the same couple stitches. I barely have to count and all that. And I like the look of it. I like the look of knit. It looks super clean, and all the stitches line up, like, really nice and perfect. So I do like the look of that. But with crochet, even in the like most advanced like crochet thing, it's still at least theoretically not too difficult, because you are still just dealing with that one loop that you can always just kind of grab again. And I mean, I don't get too advanced in either things. I lost my thread here. And with crochet, it's easier to get like sculptural right from the beginning, so it's easier to learn how to do like a stuffed animal or something right away too, I think. But they're so diverse, both of them. Like, you can really do a ton with both, so there's just so much to learn. That's actually why I think tatting is a good craft too, like once you get the first couple of concepts, because it's not as mega flexible as like what knitting and crochet is, I guess, in my head. But maybe I just don't know either. But anyway, so that's what I think. I don't really have a preferred. I do like the... Oh, I'm going to weave up here. I do like the look of knitting historically in my brain. I like that, but crochet feels a little bit more twisty. Things don't lay right next to each other as nicely. So it depends, like, what I'm going for. Like, if I'm making like if I want like a really refined, nice sweater, I would probably knit it. But like a chunky blanket that I want really textural and a lot of like fun, tangible things, I don't know, maybe I'd do crochet. It's mostly based on what I feel like doing. Like, I love making those tiny crochet doilies. I still have that actually sitting here. I like making these little crochet doilies just because I like making those tiny things and using those tiny hooks, and I think that's fun. So I don't know. I guess I don't really have a favorite. They both provide, like, it's just like what my goal is, I suppose. I like knowing how to do both for sure, though. But yeah, if you didn't know how to do either, and you were interested in both, I would say crochet is probably the easier. And it sounds like people are agreeing with me here too. Oh, it's raining in Waco too, Robin. Yeah, I think we missed the rain. Maybe we'll have it tonight. I'd like to go for another walk. I went on 2 walks today, which was so nice. I love it. And I even took my coat off for my second walk. It was so beautiful. And I think it's supposed to just be nice the rest too. Oh, Amy says, yes, perfect way to describe knitting is more organized and crochet more twisty. Yeah, that's how I like thinking about it. Like, if I want like all the stitches to lay like in perfect little V's, and just look like really refined, more like clothing, then I would do a knit. And if I don't care about that so much, and I'm fine with like the twisty kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say more homemade, because that's not really right. But like a more twisty deal, then I'll go with crochet. And actually, there's structural things. So like knitting is more flowy and drapey too when you do it, versus crochet I think has more of a sturdiness to it. If you were like using the same yarn for each, I would say like crochet, you're going to end up like with it sturdier. So you might want that sturdiness for like if you're doing something sculptural or whatever. Oh, Kathy says I can't get the hang of knitting. Yeah, and there's different techniques for all of them and stuff too. But yeah, I feel with my own confidence, I feel more confident with crochet. Even though I've probably been doing both like the same amount of time, and I do like knitting a lot. Like, I love the look of knitting and stuff. But if you threw knitting needles at me and a crochet hook at me, and you're like, oh, you have to choose one to like save the world with your knowledge of this craft, I would probably do crochet, even though now that I say that out loud, I'm like, do I really know more about crochet than I know about knitting? I don't know. I think I'm less scared of crochet than I am of knitting. And that is just because if one stitch comes out, you just grab that stitch again and then start it up again. You're not going to ruin your whole piece. You're just going to like lose a few stitches. Oh, so now Noeline says crochet is more suitable for a throw, but not a sweater. I love knitting; it's so easy. So we have a vote for knitting. Yeah, I really I mean, thinking about it more, I think I probably know the same amount with knitting and crochet. And actually, there's things that make me nervous with crochet too, like if I'm starting the next row in the right spot and all that. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty balanced between the two of like my knowledge. And with knitting, I always have to look up how to do fancy stuff again, like YouTube videos. You know, like when I was doing that collar and those cuffs, I mean, I don't know how to do those special stitches offhand, so there's just a lot to know in both. But they can both be done at their very basic, too. So like you don't need to know all that other stuff, all that like extra stuff to do either. You can just learn one stitch, like the main stitch in both, and you'd be able to make stuff and have fun like for ages. So anywho, that is my long answer to to the crochet versus knitting question. Oh, Jacob says I tried following a pattern for crochet, but it was so confusing. So that may be the pattern and not like the craft. or it could be. Ugh, I can't split that one. I'm just gonna go up another. Especially if it's a vintage pattern. Vintage patterns, I feel like they just assume you know freaking everything, and it's so annoying. Like, I think they're literally trying to save printing space, like, because, like, printing costs money. So they just assume that you know a bunch of stuff. But if you have a question on a crochet pattern, I would be more than happy to see if I know the answer or anyone else here knows the answer. Like if there's like a particular like half double crochet, or you know, if there's like some term that's goofy or some abbreviation that's goofy, let me know. I am working on a couple crochet projects right now, and ooh, I don't know if you guys saw, I just got that chunky boy in the mail. I did a TikTok before coming on tonight. I have it nearby here because I kind of demoed it a little bit. So look, I got this. It's an ergonomic handle for crochet, and I've been crocheting this blanket, and my hands get like super stiff right away, and just because I've been doing that a lot lately, and so I thought, oh, I saw this on TikTok and someone had mentioned it the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna order one. So I haven't tried it out yet, but I've tried it, but I haven't tried it for an extended amount of time. Oh, Jacob says, yeah, I think it was the half double crochet. Oh, well, I happen to have within arm's reach the crochet project that I'm working on. I'm making like a little baby blanket, and I can literally show you a half double crochet right now. Oh, I'm backwards though. So this is just funny that I'm doing this now. But all right, and I get to practice with my chunky boy a little bit. So a double crochet, I'm going to show you a double crochet and then a half double crochet. So a double crochet, you wrap around once, before doing your stitch. So now I'm going to do my stitch. I'm going through that like little V on the top, and I'm going to go grab the thread and just bring it through that V. And now I'm left with like 3 little loops on here. I'm going to grab my thread again and go through the first 2 loops, and then I'm going to grab the thread again and go through the second 2 loops. So that's a double crochet. A half double crochet, you still wrap it around like you're doing a double crochet, and you go through and you do your pull through. I don't know the terms for all this, but there we go. So now we're back to our 3 guys on the needle. So for the double crochet, remember I went through the first 2, but for a half double crochet, you're just going to go through all 3 all at once. So whoosh, all 3 all at once. And it's just going to end up being a little shorter than your double crochet. So it's kind of in the middle. I'm going to do a single crochet now. So for a single crochet, I don't go around, I don't wrap around my thread beforehand. I just go in, pull the thread through, and then I have the 2 left, and I do the 2. So a half double crochet. This is a single crochet, then a half double crochet, and then a double crochet. A half double crochet is just kind of like a squashed double crochet. So it's about this in the middle of the height between a single crochet and a double crochet. It's about like half that height, or like, you know, the difference of that height. So if that makes sense. So again, a double crochet, you go through and then you do the 2 and then the other 2. For a half double crochet, you go through all 3 loops all at once. Like so. So and this is what's great about crochet. I can just like pull and undo the little bit that I did. And I think this was where I left off with the half double crochet, or with the double crochet. So anywho, happen to have that nearby. Magic little craft nearby to do a demo. Oh, Denise says that's my favorite stitch, the half double crochet. Yeah, it's just a little fatter than a double crochet. Oh, how can you alter a pattern for larger yarn and hooks? Larger yarn and hooks. Are you referring to crochet or embroidery right now? How can you alter a pattern for larger yarn and hooks? Like for a crochet pattern, to get it to be like the same size as if you would have smaller yarn and smaller hooks. I mean, if you just did, okay, thanks for specifying crochet, because I could have sort of answered that question for embroidery as well. So I just thought I'd make sure. Yeah, so if you just straight up did bigger yarn and a bigger hook, your whole piece would be bigger. So, I mean, that would be the first thing. So you'd have to, it would totally depend what your pattern is, how you would alter it. You'd have to kind of do a gauge, like if you needed to make a square that was 4 inches, and the first time with the original yarn it took like 10 stitches, and now with your new fat yarn it only would take 5 stitches, then you'd have to like take that into consideration. So anytime you saw like 10 stitches in your pattern, you would just do like 5, and your stitches would be taller too, so you'd have to take that into consideration when redoing the pattern too, that you might get like the height of like what 3 rows would be versus the 1. So I mean, it's not, I don't think there's any magic trick to it. I think it's basically doing a gauge of what the original size was, just so you know, and then doing a gauge of what the stuff that you want to crochet out of, the yarn and hook and everything. And as far as like what size to use, like what hook do you use with what yarn, I'm sure there's I'm sure people have like their way of figuring that out, but I have like kind of a set of crochet hooks, like a bunch of different sizes, like, it came as like a little set. Oh, multi-craft rule here. Awesome. Love it. But yeah, so for like deciding what hook to use with what yarn, I sort of just test out, like I do a few just stitches with my with a hook. Like I'll just pick a hook, like if the yarn looks big, I'll use like a bigger hook and give that a go. And if my stitches are super huge and they're feeling looser than I want, then maybe my hook was too big. So I'll try a smaller hook and then see if that feels better. Before I get too far, I'll just do a few stitches. And then, if it's hard to grab my yarn and it's like hard to pull through, then maybe my hook's too small, and I will move up to a larger hook. So now that probably all goes out the window if you're doing like a real gauge that needs a specific hook size and specific yarn size or whatever. But that's kind of all I do. I am not very mechanical and pro about crochet or knitting, really. That's why I want to knit a sweater. I've never knit a sweater before, but I have an idea. I want to do I would like to actually knit a sweater that has like my little like Tyrannosaurus on the front of it. I think that would be so fun. But that's going to require me to do a gauge and be pretty specific in the sizing and all that. So that's a little new to me, but I do want to try that. Catherine's asking, did you have a hard time inserting the hook into the chunky boy? I sure did, and I put it in backwards the first time. However, oops, I'm still hooked on here. I did, in the instructions it said that you could put a little oil on the hook, and it will slide in a whole lot better, and it did. I feel like I got it stuck because I put it on upside down, like, and then I went back to their page, the Chunky Boy TikTok, and saw that I put it on upside down. So I put a little oil on, and I was able to pull it out, and then I put just like a little, like I have this just oil that I had for my nails or whatever nearby, so I put that on just a teeny bit on the hook, and then it went right in. But it's stuck in there for sure. I mean, it takes a little work. It'll be work to get it out of there, but with that oil on there, that helped a ton. Definitely recommend that. Oh yeah, Debbie says balls of yarn. Usually recommend hook and needle sizes too. But I love how squishy this is. I wasn't really expecting that. I was just expecting like it to be this shape, which I like that it's like big all the way at the bottom here. So I don't know. The reason I got it again was to I was knitting that crocheting. Geez, I was crocheting that blanket that I just showed, and I had been doing it like for hours one day, and then it just got so. My wrist just got so tired, and I know it's because of overuse, and now they just get tired like after 5 minutes of starting that crochet project. So I know I'm doing not something ergonomically correct. Like I try and shift the way I'm using my hands and stuff a little bit to see if that helps. Like sometimes I'll just move this hand a little bit more to get the yarn forward versus my other hand moving, and that helps a little bit, only for like another 5 minutes or so. So I'm hoping that if I use that handle, I just want to do a test, like can I crochet more than a few minutes without like my whole hands and wrists kind of fatiguing. Otherwise I just need like a full, I need to like break for it for a month or something and then give it a go again. But I don't want to do that. So I just wanted to, let's give an ergonomic handle a try. I'm sure my technique's off too, but I want to work on that as well. But yeah, so I like it so far, but I haven't really, the Chunky Boy, but I haven't really spent that like hour of crocheting, of like just sitting and crocheting. So I might actually do that tonight. Might pop a movie in when we're done here. Since I'm out of TV. Oh, wait, no. I might have I think there's another episode of Julia. Julia releases on Thursdays. So I might have another Julia to watch. So maybe I'll watch that and test out the chunky boy a little bit more. All right. Oh yeah, gauge is important. Yeah, for worn garments, exactly. When you need a specific size, your thing to end up as a specific size, then it's good to do a gauge for sure. Yeah, so yeah, or switch to knitting. Jacob, I do actually have a knitting project as well, but this is for a baby that has a time limit of when it's gonna be needed to be done. So it has a deadline to it. So I'm trying to like even I mean I don't know. I need to give my hands a break a little bit, I think. Let's try and do this turkey work here now. I think I am going to do it the orange. I wasn't sure. I'm going to do his eyes and the mouth that blue and the text that blue, but I think his tail should be this orange still. So I'm going to grab 6 strands this time. I'm not going to use one of the smaller strands. And I don't know how much we need. Probably not that much. I don't know. Let's get that much. Got 12 inches or so. 14 inches. So Denise, I might not be answering, you might be answering a different question, but if you're asking will this slide in and out? Not easily. Like, it was hard to get in, and it's in right now. I think to get this out, I would have to put a little bit more oil on and really like kind of force it out. So this will not slide at all. And it came in different sizes. So I got the medium, and I'm assuming that pertains to the whole size. I got the medium. I just used their guide. I actually want one for my teeny tiny one that I'm doing this little baby crochet with, but she didn't have one for that small of a hook. So anyway, I just got one for this. Yeah, it does look like a pickle, doesn't it? This is the banana color. They had a bunch of other colors too, but some were sold out, so it does look like a pickle. And that actually kind of makes me happy that it looks like a pickle. I think that's funny. Oh, Justin says, worth noting, crochet stitches in the UK differ. A US single is a double there. So if you just wanted to do like how I did, where you just go in, grab the thread, and then pull through both threads, what I would call a single crochet, what would you call that in the UK? That is interesting. Okay, now I gotta do a pile of research. I gotta look into that. I don't know if I read that out loud. I might have just read that to myself. If I might be repeating myself here, but Justin was saying, worth noting, crochet stitches in the UK differ. A US single is a double there. I think I read that out loud. Oh, Robin says, I did the eyes of the and the mouth black. I think that's totally. Brown. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I'm freestyling this thing. I'm not doing it how the original was. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looked like the eyes were black and the mouth is kind of like a brown or like a burgundy color. So yeah, we just mentioned it yesterday, maybe doing that blue, and actually I kind of like the eyes black yet. So I'm undecided on that yet, but theoretically I might just do it that blue, because we haven't opened this color blue yet. I am going to do it the blue for the letter G's, I think, instead of the green. And I still want to do the whipped back stitch for this, because we were talking about that yesterday, and I think that'd be fun still. All right, turkey work. All right, I gotta think how I want to do this. I think I like going like from the top down with turkey work, and I think I'm gonna start with like one stitch, and then we'll move to like a couple stitches. And I feel like I always get this a little wrong, so we'll see how this goes. Actually, maybe I want to go this way. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to start with like an arc here, and we're just going to like do arcs and arcs and arcs till the one. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I feel like I always mess this up a little bit. But I like thinking of turkey work as doing like 2 rows of backstitch that are a little offset at the same time. So let's see if this works. I might totally mess this up, but we're going to try. Let's start here. Okay, so I am going to leave a little end out here. And then I'm going to basically do a little back stitch on top of it. So this is my, like, I have an upper back stitch row and the lower back stitch row. And then my upper back stitch row is going to be loopy. I'm already doing this a little weird, but I'm making a loop here, and I'm going to go kind of basically in the middle of this back stitch that came before. And now I'm going to do the lower row of back stitches, and that's going to cross over that one, like so. And now I'm going to do the upper row of back stitch. I'm basically going in the same spot, but we're just trading off. We're like stair-stepping it a little bit. But I like thinking of it like an upper row and a lower row of back stitches that are offset, and the upper row just happens to be big and loopy. In reality, this lower row of back stitches is what's holding these in. So this is going to look crazy, but ultimately I will snip these, and what we're doing is doing the turkey work stitch, and it's going to look like this fuzzle guy when we're done. But I always forget how to do turkey work every single time I do it, so we'll see how this goes. I think I'm already kind of making it up a little bit with these 2 rows of back stitches. All right, so one more back stitch to kind of hold that guy in. There we are. So that's basically the first row. And now let's do it again. Oh, sound is in and out. Oh, I don't know why that would be, Robin. Ugh, sorry about that. Okay, I gotta read this. So Justin's saying, you read that correctly. If you did the same motions as you demonstrated earlier in the US, those actions are equal to a single crochet. And in the UK, those same actions are known as a double crochet. Then what's a single crochet? Wait, then what's a double crochet in the UK? What would they call that? Like a triple crochet? I mean, because you are going through 3 things. I always thought that was confusing. So with a single crochet, you are kind of going through double. So 2. I mean, that kind of makes sense. But then what is a single crochet then? All right. Anywho, let's do this again. Turkey work is similar method to, woven Turkish rugs. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm going to have to look that up, Justin. All right. Let's do another one of these. So I'm going to start with, oh God, I think I'm going to start with my short back stitch. No, we're going to start with this tall one. So we're starting the next row here. And I'm going to back stitch over both of those here. Oh, you guys, I think I am going to actually run out of thread here. I forgot that these big loops use up a ton of thread. So I'm going right up against the row that came before. I probably wouldn't have to go right up against it, but it is going to make a more dense pile. And I'm using 6 strands of floss too, which is a pretty hefty amount of floss, so that will make it fuzzier too when we're done. Oh, knufflers, I'm using 6 strands. I think we'll do one more in there. I'm actually going to come up under this one from the row before. And I'm using 6 strands. I mean, it's difficult to pull 6 strands through, which is annoying, but it's going to just make that much more floof. And we're going to trim this way down. Okay, and I am going to need to get more thread, because this would have been a reason to start at the tail instead of starting at the big part first. Oops, let's make that loop a little bit bigger. Even though that loop's probably just right, I'll probably cut it down to that size. Anyway, if I would have started down here and I ran out of thread, I could have just been like, fine, we'll go that far. But now I gotta actually get more thread. Uh-oh. Guess I'm really low on thread already. So I don't have to weave in the ends or anything. I can just let the end hang out like I did at that first one. So I think I can get one more loop and one more little back stitch, and then I'll just come up. Ooh, actually maybe not. I think I'm just going to come up, and I'm going to have to get the back stitch the next time. Yeah. All right. I need more thread. It looks crazy right now, but it's gonna work out. Ooh, this really is using up this skein, though. We just started this skein. So between all this satin stitch and all of this turkey work, we're really hogging this thread. Oh, this is called turkey work, or a turkey work stitch. It's called a few things, and I'm pretty new to it still. I've only done it a few times, but if you do turkey work, embroidery, that'll get you where you need to be if you're doing a search for it. And I'll have to do I gotta dig into it. Oh, I thought it felt weird back there. Boo! Well. So we got a big crazy knot on the back. Grr. Oh well. Maybe I can tuck it in. Alright. I'm gonna let this guy be poofed up there. It looks like I'm making the biggest mess in the world, but I promise this will be cute and fuzzy in a moment. Oh, I can feel myself like pulling these threads to the back a little bit. So, boo on the big loop that I didn't feel. All right, let's do some more. I think we're just about done though. We'll do like 2 right here. Actually, maybe we'll just do 1. I'll do 1 here. Yeah, and then maybe 1 a little further over down at the next bit. Like so, and do my little back stitch over the top to hold it all in place, and I think that's where I'm going to call it. All right, and then I'm going to come back out, like kind of in that same area, because I can leave thread out here. So I'm going to trim that, and so this is how it starts looking. Looks crazy town crazy, but I'm just going to go and I'm going to start. I could actually probably just snip off the tops, but you could go in and snip all of your loops. That's probably the easiest way to do it first. My loops are all different lengths, which is fine right now. Did I get them all? Yes. Okay. So now you can just kind of take a needle, and I'll show you my favorite way of doing this. But you can just kind of what we want to do now is like fluff this up. So we want to separate all these strands. So you can just take a needle and kind of like run it up through the strands a little bit. But my favorite way of doing that is actually with a round brush. I just have this one. I don't use this one on myself anymore. But I didn't throw it away. I put it in my craft supplies. But because of all the little bits, it's so easy to separate the threads. You may have seen me use this on pom-poms, like, because sometimes I'll make pom-poms out of old embroidery floss from projects, and this is how I separate all the strands when I'm done. But you can see they're all kind of separating into the individual bits, because, you know, I use 6-strand embroidery floss, and so we're splitting in all the 6 strands into 1 strand. And there we are. So there's our initial floof, and now we can carve it a bit. So I want it sort of short, I think. So I'm just going to chomp off a whole lot of this all at once. And this is where we're going to make a little mess here. It's so cute. And okay, now I kind of want it longer. Maybe I kind of like that length. Look how crazy that is. We should do turkey work for the lion. The lion is letter L, and it has like a bunch of just long lines coming out of it for the lion's mane. But oh my gosh, we should just totally do the whole thing in turkey work. Oh, that would take a ton of thread, and it'd take a ton of time, but it'd be really cute. I'm just kind of rounding it off on the edges, seeing if anything pops out at me, but I think that's kind of cute, like just like right like that. So let's try and get the extra floofs off. So maybe get some tape and floof all that away. But look at it, it's so cute. Look how tall it is. Okay, that turned out so freaking sweet. I love it. And they're all being held in by like those little tiny back stitches that we put down there. It is cute. All right, I love it. And we can even have it like go up in that direction if we want. It can just kind of go. He's got a little like firework for his tail. Fun. All right, I love it. Let's move on to the face, and I think let's just stick with the blue. I think that'd be fine. I think the blue will be okay. I don't think we need the black eyes. I'm just gonna do blue for all of it. I did show a single. Justin, I did a double crochet first, and then a half double crochet, and then a single crochet. Is kind of what I did, but I did do a a single crochet as part of it. All right, I'm gonna get like a normal piece of thread here. My like 24 inches or so. Oh my gosh, Jill says I did turkey work on an 8-inch by, is that inches or feet? Santa beard in white yarn and then brushed with a dog brush. It turned out so good. Oh my gosh, that sounds freaking amazing. Okay, I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm doing a back stitch. I said yesterday that I was gonna do and you know what? I'm going back to 3 strands as well. I said yesterday that I was gonna do a split stitch for the eyes and the mouth too, but like the eyes are such a tight curve that I don't think split stitch works really well for that. And then I'm also doing 3 strands again, just because I want to do a 3-strand whipped back stitch for, whipped back stitch for the letter G's, and you know, this way I'll have this right amount of threads left over. So going back to the 3 strands. So the eyes will be a little thicker line than the like outline of his body, but I think that's fine. Okay, I'm definitely going to test out that chunky boy a little bit more. Ooh, Catherine's asking, how would the turkey stitch hold up if you launder the quilt? I don't really see a reason why it would come out because it's being held in with those other stitches right next to it. Um, so yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it. Let's start there. I haven't done a quilt that I've washed, or I haven't done a quilt with turkey work before. I've just been kind of doing it on like little pieces here and there. But I kind of don't see why it would come out. If it was like really silky thread or something maybe, but I think this would be fine. Oh, yes, Jill. I will. Jill says, I will have to check into your cool crochet handle for my mom who is 94 and still crocheting. We'll be curious if it works for you. Yes, so I definitely want to, like, I want to do like a real test of it. If you check out their page, though, the chunky boy, I mean, if you, I don't know, on TikTok is what I'm referring to. In my post that I just did on TikTok, there's a link to them, and then if you go to their pinned post, they have a thing on why it's more ergonomic than other ones, and mostly because it's like longer, like the thickness goes the full length. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. We'll see how it goes. The main thing I'm looking for is like how quick does my hand get fatigued, and I might not have a good gauge of that because it's going to take me a while for my hand to get like my rhythm or like my motions to get used to the big handle anyway, so it might get more tired anyway because of that. But I don't know, that's kind of my ultimate goal, is obviously like not to have my hands just, or my wrists and all that just get tired. And it is a lot in my hands, so that's specifically what it's supposed to help with, I think. Just the wider grip. And I like this one too because it's really squishy too. I wasn't expecting it to be as squishy. But yeah, so the grip goes all the way to the bottom. So it's just this part, like having a wide grip here and then still being able to do like the little bits with the fingers that I don't know, if I get a finger up here every once in a while. That's just, I'm uncoordinated with that so far. So I feel like I need like a chill hour of stitching of crocheting just to kind of just get comfortable with a new way of holding a needle or a hook. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to do a follow-up video. I'll let you know after a little bit. I have not tried any other ergonomic handles, so I don't have any comparison to it. But the whole idea of having it longer, I mean, to me, that makes sense to me. Okay, I'm liking the blue eyes. The blue eyes is what I was a little unsure of, but I think they're turning out cute. Oh, the actual color of it. Jill says it looks like a banana. I'll check it out. It looks like a banana. You can maybe use a banana and have a snack when it's done. So I think the color of this is actually banana. And I think of the size, I don't know if they're doing a restock or something, because there was a bunch that was sold out. And it was between that and actually like a pretty orange color. Almost like a salmon-y orange color, and that normally would have been my go-to color, but for some reason the funny yellow was calling to me, and I'm like, nah, I gotta go with that yellow. It's like, it's calling my name versus like my normal color choice that I would have gone with, so I'm like, I gotta do the yellow. So I did, and I think it's funny. I like that people are saying it looks like a pickle. I think that's funny. It totally does. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I'm liking this purple. My mom just got her nails colored like a really similar purple. They look like she took a photo of them by some hydrangeas, and they were so pretty. And she got some glitter in one of them, and it was looking just really cute. Mine's on my last. Tomorrow's gonna be my last day for these. I'm in week 3 of my nails, and they're definitely growing out. And I broke the one, but I do like this color, so I have 2 more colors to try. This is that dip powder nail polish, so I have 2 more colors for my initial order. This is only my second color. So after weeks and weeks and weeks, this will only be the 3rd time of me having to redo my nails. So that is a huge improvement in my world of having to do my nails. But yeah, so after tomorrow, I think on Saturday, we're gonna do yard work, and then after that, I think it's gonna be nail day for the rest of that day. So I have 2 colors left. One is like kind of like a neutral mauve color, I think, probably kind of close to this color, and then the other one is like a really pretty like princessy light pink. So I don't know which one I should do first. So you'll have to let me know. Like princessy pink. That's not the name of it, but you know what? I'm gonna do that thing where I leave a stitch out on the front, because these split stitches, I don't really have a lot of thread to weave into, so I'm going to leave this hanging out on the front, and then we'll finish that stitch with it and weave it in there into this mouth. Kind of leaning towards doing like the mauve thing. Oh, Denise says, I didn't care for that other ergonomic crochet hook holder, the green and purple one, not a fan at all. So I haven't used those before. Is that like a common one? Or is that like one that you'd see at Joann's or something? Like by Clover, most likely, a place like that. So in their little how to, I'm screwing this up. I'm making this really weird, but oh well. In their little info about, they mentioned that it's like extra, like big, like bigger than the other ones on the market, and the wideness goes all the way down, which I guess is unique. I've seen a few, but yeah, the ones I've seen are either like a big ball with nothing on the end, or just not as thick, period. But the weight of it is nice. I'm a little actually worried about the weight well, that's one of the things I'm going to test. Like, it feels awesome in the hand, like and it's really squishy. Like it's a great consistency. I really actually like it a lot, the feel of it. But the heaviness is going to be different than just your little, like, I don't know, aluminum crochet hook. So, or whatever it is. So I'm wondering if my hand will get fatigued from the weight of it, or just not. Like, it's all, I have questions. That's why I need like a big sit-down crochet session, not just like a few stitches, which is what I've done with it so far, just a few stitches. Oh, thanks, Diana. Diana says, I love how the eyes look on your picture. All right, let's weave in this little extra bit. Kind of making a weird mess here. Ooh, and it's 9:30, you guys. All right, well, we got just exactly as far as I was thinking we'd get tonight, so that's I suppose something. I was hoping we'd actually get to the letters tonight, but I wasn't really expecting to. So we will work on this tomorrow, and I think we'll get this done pretty quickly tomorrow too. So maybe we'll do some prep for we'll do the prep of getting it ready to quilt. And actually we have to do that with the fox as well. So maybe we'll just we'll pin them up tomorrow if we get this done. Are you still dipping your own nails? I am, and this is only the second time because they've been lasting 3 weeks. Not pretty 3 weeks. Like the last week is a little janky, but like So I've only done it twice. So Saturday will be my third time doing it, and I initially got 4 colors, so I'm still like working through my whole initial go at it. Oh, Princess Pink, it's a spring color. That's true. Maybe I should just stick to that, do the Princess Pink. Yeah, you know what? I might do that. So I want to make it through the other 2 colors, but so that'll be like 6 weeks till I get through the other 2 colors. But then I would like to try a little ombre thing, because I have that darker, like bright pink with that Princess Pink. It would be like a really cute, ombre, like the lighter on the tip, and I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I am still doing my own dip nails, and this is literally only the second time I've done it. So I will be taking the nails off for the second time, and I'm hoping that goes better than the first time. So we'll see. So anyway, I think that's it for tonight with this feller. So I will come back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central, and we will finish up these G's and like prep this to be quilted, I think. So, all right, you guys. So thanks again for joining me. Just if you guys over here are curious, this is the size of it. So in real life, next to a person, this is what the chunky boy looks like. But yeah, so I'll definitely do an update on what that feels like after using it for a period, like for a whole session, not just like testing out a few stitches, like getting used to it, getting a groove with the hand motions and stuff, and then seeing how it feels like for fatigue and that sort of thing. That's the goal, is I want to be crocheting more. So longer periods of time. So awesome. So I will see you guys tomorrow again at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and thanks again for hanging out with me tonight. Have a lovely evening. Good night.